What strange events have gotten swept under the rug like they didn't even happen? Starting last summer, there have been unidentified snipers taking out random cars on different parts of I-10 in New Orleans, and nothing has come of it, and nobody's really talking about it. I mean, gang and drug violence, neighborhood drive-bys and the occasional bourbon shooting are one thing to ignore, but interstate snipers? Nobody finds that interesting. It's still happening. From the last time this was asked, Equifax lost the personal data of almost every single adult in the U.S. This is data we didn't give them permission to access, they simply automatically collect it. They are still in business. In September of 2017, Equifax announced a data breach that exposed the personal information of 147 million people. That's out of roughly 210 million adults at that time. That's 70% of the adult population whose data was lost. That's more than likely every single household in the U.S. On November 2, the FEC decided that foreign individuals, corporations, and governments can fund ballot measures in the U.S. because they're not technically elections. This is a staggeringly big deal that was pretty much immediately swept under the rug. In my hometown, there was some sort of audit and it found that $8 million of taxpayer money was missing. It's a conspiracy now. Edit. All the Reddit attention got me interested in this situation again. Here's a link. $7 million spent on life insurance policies for employees. T.I., rapper, and his wife have serially drugged and raped over 30 victims. According to 30-plus allegations. If you Google T.I., it doesn't even come up unless you specifically search for it. The leader of Scientology's wife vanished after an argument in 2005. Nobody knows what happened to her. In my hometown, the police chief was accused of having sexual relations with an underage girl. The father of the girl was one of the officers on the force. He was later found dead near the property of the chief. People believe he was there to confront the chief about the relations. 9/11 happened, and the attention of the public got focused on the nation's tragedy. He is now the mayor. The Metcalfe sniper attack. Some unknown gunman utilizing military tactics attacked a California power substation under cover of night. The attack included cutting targeted telecommunication lines beforehand. As far as I've ever been able to tell, they never figured out who did it or why. Or they did make arrests and the media didn't bother to follow up. Ghislaine Maxwell knew many names, yet no one was publicly mentioned. Panama Papers. The Las Vegas shooting. The worst mass shooting in America's history. Dozens dead. Hundreds injured. No one has any idea why this random dude stockpiled weapons and went on a mass murder spree. Or why he ended when he did. We all just collectively went, I guess we'll never know, and then forgot about it. The wife of the Church of Scientology leader, David Miscavige, Shelley Miscavige, has not been seen in public since August 2007. She was reported as missing to the police, at that time, but they said that she had been found and they closed the case. She has not been seen since. $128 billion went missing in my country. It is talked about for about 3 months here. Edit. It's Turkey. Beyoncé sang at a private concert for the Gaddafi family in 2008. The only reason why I know this is because it was a footnote in a sociology book about the power dynamics in government-neglected regions. The Phoenix Lights. My whole immediate family and tons of people on the street we lived on saw the aircraft come overhead. We all stood there speechless and terrified until it passed, then the whole block freaked out. Nobody will ever convince me it was flares. We all saw the outline and structure of the craft clearly. It was so big and slow, it was amazing it was staying in the air. My hair still stands on end even thinking about it right now. Several nuclear weapons the US DoD straight up lost. Congress being able to insider trade legally. Robinhood shutting off the buy button to stop GameStop's price from climbing. The mysterious circumstances surrounding the death of Casey Kasem, the original voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And #X200B. Edit. Did not expect this comment to blow up like this. Love the discussion this has generated. Quite a few people have pointed out that Casey Kasem was better known for his work in his radio Top 40, and later Top 20 countdown show. I omitted this because I didn't think it would be as relevant to international or younger readers, since Casey's last recording on that program was nearly 20 years ago. But if you are too young to remember hearing him on Sunday radio programs, please find him on YouTube, because they were a real treat. Identifying all the rich men who participated in Jeffrey Epstein's island. The anthrax attacks straight after 9/11. Seemingly unconnected and no one was ever charged, from memory. Largely forgotten. The Phoenix 2015 freeway shooter. The only suspect was clear and so far no updates. There were reports of copycats or perhaps paranoia. For example, small rock hitting window and people mistaking it for a gunshot, in other states that year, but those too came and went. Man in GIMP suit terrorizing villages. He's back again. Boris Johnson lockdown parties, he was on the verge of being forced out of office and then, oh there's a war now, we've got other stuff to worry about. Ghislaine Maxwell's trial where she got convicted of selling children to nobody. Guards in a prison melted a mentally disabled prisoner's skin off with hot water. Darren Rainey. Karl Malone. Decorated basketball player. Raped a 13-year-old girl, disowned the child. Impregnated a 17-year-old girl, disowned the twins. Sexually and racially harassed Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife. Utah Jazz builds a statue celebrating and commemorating him. Nobody seemed to remember Ukrainian passenger flight being shot down by Iranian government last year. Random scary clowns in like 2016. Kellyanne Conway published nude pictures of her underage daughter as a form of punishment. AKA distribution of child pornography. The Apollo 10 turd. It's been half a century and nobody has owned up to the floating turd on Apollo 10. Donald Rumsfeld announcing that the Pentagon had lost $2.30 trillion the night before 9/11. The metric shit ton of COVID relief money that was given to companies, that was misappropriated and will never be paid back, and is only marginally being analyzed, investigated. So it's all on the US taxpayers. The fire at the JFK Museum records wing during the Boston bombings. Anyone remember the rumors of Kim Jong-un being ill? Who the hell destroyed the Epstein camera tapes? The story about the male masseur who accused John Travolta of sexual battery. Whatever happened with that? Shooting down of MH17 in 2014. To me it seems like nobody gave a shit after first few weeks. Nobody took responsibility for it, everyone moved on like nothing happened. Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Washington NFL football team running a forced prostitution ring with their cheerleaders. The New York District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, no longer charges armed robbery as a felony. It's now misdemeanor petite larceny, meaning that an armed robber won't even lose his right to carry a weapon if he gets caught and convicted. Edit. Should be petty larceny, not petite. I am pretty surprised how no one really reacted when the Navy and Pentagon said UFOs were real and we don't know what they are, or have anything that can really match and fight them. Not saying it's aliens and UAP instead of UFO. I feel like everyone in New Zealand has just forgotten that the laser kiwi flag existed. I saw a news report about people attacking and eating people like they were zombies. 12 hours later nothing about it, not even a retraction. This was about 12 years ago. I just figure they fixed zombies really fast. The Saudis murdered a Washington Post journalist and nothing happened. Members of the Saudi Arabian royal family funded the 9/11 suicide squads, but the oil was worth more than an invasion. Gary Webb and his investigations into the crack epidemic. Every single major news event that's more than a few weeks old. The media only care about the latest headlines to grab attention. The Westall Ufo sighting. Sighted by hundreds of people in the middle of the day in 1966. All news archive footage of interviews has mysteriously vanished. Witnesses visited by men in suits who told them never to talk about it. The invasion of the murder hornets was an alarming storyline in 2020 that just never went anywhere.